What's going on, guys? Jay Tsuro, Jay with the Pay. Hope you're doing well and swell. Today, I want to talk about why it's better to live a sober life and if you can avoid drugs, stimulants, etc. at all costs. The big catalyst for this video that I would like to make is I've really boiled it down to two stimuli that I've used on occasion. And that's going to be nicotine, mainly through Zen, was my most recent. And then the day and day caffeine, right? Day in, day out caffeine. Now, these in and of itself might not seem like that big of a deal. But right now, I'm kind of, determining if caffeine is even worth it. And I know this sounds crazy. It's like caffeine. It's coffee. Everybody drinks it. It's not a big deal. Trying to see how we can optimize and live the most fulfilled life possible, right? And I got some inspiration with making this video. I was kind of watching other people of saying about their addiction to Zen and nicotine. And, it made me kind of reflect on my own journey with it. And really, I've gotten down to the point where, it'll be an occasional cigar every once in a while. Maybe once every other month. Maybe once a month, if that. But once a month is even, I would say, probably too much for at least a cigar for myself. But the Zen had a hold on me for a while. But I mean, the thing with nicotine, and it's very true, it's like once you had that, first experience with it, or you've waited a while and then you did it again. We had the upper and lower decker, right? Once you've had that, it's just you can't really get the same. It's hard to get back to that level that you felt, or the experience you had with it, which felt good when you first were doing it, or if it's been a while since you've done it, and just kind of chasing that and realizing it's not serving you as much. And I mean, it's $6-7 for the can, and then really, what are you getting from it? And then I remember doing it, I would just feel kind of like shitty. I'd feel sometimes minor headaches with it, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, I've always kind of thought, like, as a person, as a human being, it's normal, it's natural to do something, right? Most people will drink, most people will smoke weed, most people will smoke cigarettes, that sort of thing. And I think for a long time people have just kind of lived like this, right? To do some type of drug or stimulant to kind of get you through the day. And I'm just trying to see, how it affects myself, right? If I don't do anything, if I don't even drink coffee, no caffeine, no nicotine, nothing, if I don't drink alcohol, if I don't do any of that, how would I feel? Would I be able to function like that? Can someone function like that? I assume so, yes. But not only just the day-to-day, like social settings, environments, I don't know. There's a lot to it. And if you really think about it, I guarantee if you're watching this video, you have some type of stimulant or drug that you indulge in. And, really think about it. What would it look like if you're the type of person that didn't do anything? It seems kind of boring, but is it better for you overall? I think it could be. And another thing, I mean, we just had this happen, but seeing the passing of Connor Murphy and just the path that he went down was insane. And I mean, yeah, I know a lot of people are making videos and mentioning him, but I remember his videos back in the day. He had all these viral clips, and he was doing like these prank videos where he'd show his physique. And I remember they were really entertaining. And I remember watching those, 10 years ago or whatever. And I know he's been kind of having the decline for a while now as far as the content and kind of how he was functioning and what he was doing, but to have him now, I mean, he in his passing, it's really crazy. He was really young. He was only 32. That's only 4 years older than me, and obviously successful, had all this, and the way it happened of him getting involved with psychedelics and that really changing the mind. And guys, this is what I'll say about psychedelics. When you take a psychedelic, it's like changing the channel, right? So if you're watching ESPN and you're watching a football game and then you take a psychedelic, you could be watching a cartoon. You could be watching Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. That's what it does to you physically. It changes the channel. Like, it strips you of the ego, which people promote. They're like, oh, it's good because it gives you a different perspective. It changes the channel. It can actually change you in your mental state. So I would highly advise do not do them. I think ultimately it's good to live a sober mind, derive the energy from nutrition and food and exercise, cold plunge, stuff like that, right? More natural things than doing that. And some people say, well, it is natural. It's plants, right? That's all drugs and stimulants are, is plants. But you're not naturally, just being does not naturally put you like that, right? You don't naturally need these to survive, right? Water is natural. Food is natural. We absolutely need that, or you would perish. So making that argument to say, oh yeah, it's a plant, it's a drug or stimulant, it's okay, it's natural. It's not natural for us to partake in that and do that day in, day out, And really, are you gonna live the most optimized, fulfilled, lifestyle? So, I mean, I've got all kinds of thoughts, especially when it comes to weed and my experiences with alcohol. So we can get into that later, but just want to make this video, guys. Try to live a sober life as much as possible. Rest in peace to Connor Murphy. And yeah,